Good morning, everyone. It's Kiki. Thank you for hanging out. Today is, what is it? Saturday, August 10th, and it's 10:30 a.m. And right now, I'm actually getting ready because my auntie and I, we may meet up and go for a walk. Mm. And the reason I wanted to talk about that today is I'm finding I'm having difficulty making plans because I'm not sure if the next day or the day that I make the plan, oh, almost out, the day that I'm going to make the plan, if I'm up for it. So that is one thing about long COVID. Well, long COVID for me, anyways, is that I don't know whether or not I'll be able to fulfill those plans. And that's a little different for me because I love making concrete plans and sticking with them, and then I love following through. That just makes me feel good. But now, at this stage of life, or in this season, this current season, I can't make completely concrete plans. So, what I've been doing, because I have to take into account where my body is at the moment, is I tell my friends that, hey, we do want to go on this walk together, but do you mind if we schedule 2 days? Because I may not be able to do the first day. Oh, I'm really out. I might not be able to do the first day. So I'd like to have a second day so that way we can actually do something. I have to have like two chances. And I don't really know whether or not I'm going to be able to do it until that morning. So I have to take into account that maybe the night before I won't sleep really well, or maybe I'll feel a little icky in the morning, or I'm feeling like a relapse or a flare up of my all of my symptoms. So I actually have to explain that to them. And I've had some friends that are super understanding about it. We'll book 2 days, and then around like 8 in the morning when I wake up, I'll say, "Hey, I woke up today. I feel, a rating out of 10. I'll say like 6.75 out of 10. I think that's good enough for a slow, gentle walk. If you'd like to still walk, let's do it." So that's what I've been doing is booking 2 days with friends, and then when I wake up, I am. Why did that do that? Hold on. Booking 2 days with friends and okay, that was weird. Booking 2 days with friends, and then seeing which day works better, like the day of, and if that doesn't work, then the other day. So, for example, uh, today I'm going to be seeing my aunt, and I texted her and I said, "Hey, I got enough sleep, 8 hours and 12 minutes, and I'm feeling not 100%, but I would still like to go on this walk with you. I got in my head, I feel like it's 6.75 out of 10, which is good enough to go for a walk as long as I'm paying attention to my Fitbit, my heart rate, my how I'm breathing, and if the conversation becomes too like intense, that we take a pause because I'm finding even talking sometimes with people can really drain my energy, and then my brain actually starts to hurt, and that's new for me. I used to love talking forever and ever, talking about complex topics and abstract topics and things like the next day or the next week, like what are we going to do, like very abstract, but I can't do that anymore. I can't do that right now. I'm not going to say I can't do that anymore because you never know, I might be able to do that. So yeah, I got an 81 sleep score. I actually went to bed around 9:30, but I didn't fall asleep till 10:15, and it looks like I was awake for an hour and a half, and that's the one thing I want to work on. I've been drinking a lot of chamomile tea and like valerian sleepy chamomile tea as well, but I still can't seem to get less than an hour of awake. If I can get it less than 1 hour, then I'll be able to get more sleep in the same amount of time. And that's the plan. I also wanted to talk today about um, the Mediterranean diet. If you are experiencing or suffering from a lot of inflammation like I am, I learned from the doctors through a Zoom session because I've been attending all of these Zoom sessions where I get to learn a bunch of topics with 200 people or so. So there's this one diet called the Mediterranean diet, and I'm going to pull up a picture so that way I can explain it a little bit better. But what it is, it's mostly, it's been recommended because the Mediterranean diet has foods in there in the ingredients that are lower on the inflammation scale. So let's see, Mediterranean diet pyramid. I'm not going to go into detail about it, like like recipes and etc. and whatnot. But um, there are guides online if you want to look into it. And this is the Mediterranean diet pyramid. It shows how much you should be eating of how much. And I was surprised to learn that you should only be eating red meat once a month. But for me, I crave eating red meat once a week, especially when I'm inflamed. So I'm going to take the Mediterranean diet, what they recommend for that Mediterranean diet for the inflammation, but then add in more meat because I noticed recently I've been craving red meat, and I think it has something to do with the fact that I'm quite inflamed. And red meat has a lot of amino acids in there that you can't find in chicken or vegetables, for example. So I think my body is rebuilding. Another thing about protein is that when you are inflamed, what you need to do is you actually need to increase your consumption of protein because, so this can be any form though, it doesn't have to be meats. When you increase your consumption of protein, you're helping your body repair. So during illness, if you're eating just a regular amount that you normally eat, you need to boost it a little bit more because during this inflammatory time or this time when you're going through all these things, your body actually needs all the extra molecules so it can build, rest, and recover. And I didn't know that. So the doctor, the nutritionist I was working with, suggested that if you are wanting to see some results, try the Mediterranean diet, try increasing your protein, and see how you feel with the inflammation. Because protein helps with the inflammation. I didn't know that. So after this, I'm gonna have a few eggs. I love eggs, hard-boiled eggs, my favorite. Sometimes I'll do like hard-boiled eggs and a little bit of soy sauce or hard-boiled with like salt and butter. Another thing about inflammation was we were quoted studies. I'll put the link in the description box so you can read it. But if you're going to be adding some supplements for inflammation, the nutritionist said, curcumin, which comes from turmeric, and omega 3s and 6s both had a noticeable decrease in uh, inflammatory markers in patients. So if you're going to start with any anti-inflammatory supplements, I highly recommend those. I'm actually taking those right now, and I do notice a difference. But I got something in my eye, it hurts. I do notice a difference in my inflammation. But the thing is, I hope it's okay I'm doing my makeup at the same time. I just wanted to like not waste time here. I noticed it does help with the inflammation, all the foods and all the supplements, but I'm consistently continuing to make inflammation. And that is because my central nervous system is on. It's been like, it's as if someone turned the switch on and forgot to turn it off. So I'm doing my own things because, my body and I were connected. I'm the captain of the ship. Well, we work together, okay? So I'm trying to communicate to my body, it's time to turn off the the on, turn the switch from on to off through breathing. I stretched yesterday. That made her feel calm. Um, I'm also meditating, and I'm also drinking calming herbs to signify to my body, hey, you know what? It is time for us to be chill because that switch is on and it's not turning off on its own. I'm a little bit swollen today, but I mean, I've been swollen since like forever, but whatever. That's my reality for right now. It will change once this long COVID is done. I'm going to show you, oh, yeah, the heart rate. Because I was talking about calming. All right. So I found out you can show it for the 1 month average and the 1 week average. The past 30 days. Okay, let me see if I can make it nicer. Okay. So I've been drinking chamomile tea religiously because I read in a bunch of books that there are calming herbs, and chamomile is one of them. There's a bunch of other ones as well, but I just picked up this one because it's at the store. I didn't want to go to a specialty tea shop. But I want to show you my 1 month average so far in August. I want you to see this. It's so cool. I was drinking it every day religiously, and my heart rate was going down, and then it plateaued there because I actually just didn't drink it as much, and then it went down even further. I was drinking it every day, all day, every day, even at night. And then here I thought, you know what, maybe my heart rate is going to get too low. Let's stop and only drink it at night. It started to rise. See that little rise there? So it started to rise, and I saw that, and I was like, I'm going to implement the chamomile tea stuff again all day. So implemented it, and then it started to go down again. This is when I was like, I should start doing it. So it went down. I'm hoping that is the reason for my calming heart rate. So yeah, I wanted to show you that. I'm really proud about that. And my stress management score today is 76, and it's not as good as usual. And my Fitbit, since the beginning, since I purchased it, did not make up on this, has been showing that my autonomic nervous system has been on. It is a system responsible for the fight or flight response. So even in my Fitbit, it is showing that I have a lot going on with my ANS, my autonomic nervous system. I didn't take guanfacine like I said I was going to, and instead, what I did was I took a ibuprofen last night, and I did wake up feeling a little better, but one of the side effects there is like a bleeding stomach. But you know what? I will know when I have a bleeding stomach, and I will try to eat this ibuprofen with a snack. So that way, it's not impacting the stomach lining as much. A little bit more gentle than that way if I'm eating food. Maybe something fatty would help. So I haven't taken the guanfacine. I'm glad I got it, but there's this thing I don't want to disrupt my libido again. And last night, oh my God, I know this. I'm healing because my pissoir, she was wet, and then I was like, oh, thank God, and I went to sleep. So I felt really good about that. That means I'm healing. Your body can't be aroused if it's in a state of survival. So that's why I'm so excited about that. I know it's a little too TMI for some people, but no, factually, your body, if it's trying to survive, it won't be aroused. Another thing I'm considering doing for the pain is trigger point injections where they take salt water and then they inject it to the muscles, and the salt water is supposed to help with pain through increasing the blood circulation there. But my favorite thing is cupping. So I'm gonna see if I can get some money to afford cupping. It is really expensive. It's like $100. I mean, it's probably not expensive for some people, but it's expensive for somebody who is not working. $100. So there's that for pain, which I'm gonna try. And also, I've been having a lot of this pain. This coat hanger pain is what they call it. And it is something associated with POTS and dysautonomia. And let me just pull out the muscle so you know which one I'm talking about. Trapezius. Okay. And when I was describing it to the doctor, he when we were doing our assessment, he was asking, "Do you get coat hanger pain?" And I was like, "What is that?" He's like, "Well, do you get pain in the back of the neck and in the upper back?" I'm like, "Well, I do. It's like a little diamond and it hurts." Um, and so that is the trapezius. That's what I was describing to him. And I'll show you what the coat hanger pain looks like. And he said that most likely is coat hanger pain. And they call it that because of the shape. And look, that's trapezius pain, and it is related to not having enough blood go up there. And he said it's possibly because of dysautonomia or POTS. But I know I'm not as active as I used to be. I'm not doing upper body workouts. I'm not cycling. So my idea was, I think I have that pain because I'm actually not working out like I used to because I can't work out. Um, and I'm actually deconditioning muscle wise and I'm feeling the effects. But I didn't tell him that. I feel like POTS could be so, POTS, coat hanger pain could be so many different things because there's posture involved, musculoskeletal development, and they even take into account blood. So I think it's not as simple as saying it's because of this one thing. So what I've been doing, or what I did as of yesterday, is I took the time to look up yoga for the trapezius, yoga strengthening and stretches, and I also looked up Pilates. I also looked up what people with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome do because they have some pretty good stretches and strengthening exercises, which I feel like are a little bit more for me since I'm hypermobile. I'm going to show you. My doctor asked, I didn't know it was hypermobile. I thought I was just flexible. And he said, this is how I do the test for the hyperflexibility. He's like, take your thumb. We were on screen. He's like, tell me if you can touch your arm. I'm like, yeah, I can touch my arm. And I thought, isn't that normal? I just don't know any other reality, right? Of course, that's just how I am. And he said, no, I can't do that. That's not normal. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm learning about myself. So I possibly have EDS, and that is a condition of like hypermobility. And now it explains why I can get myself to do the splits with some training. I mean, it is difficult for me to do splits right away, but if I do like a week or two of like training, strengthening, and like stretching at the same time, I can get myself to do the splits, not the splits where it's like this, but like this. So I can do those splits. And turns out, I guess I'm in a little echo chamber, but because I love to dance and I'm in a dance studio. Everyone at the dance studio can do this. They can do the splits. They can do it while dancing. They can do it statically. They can do it on the pole or even aerial. So and my friend's like, that's not normal. I'm like, okay, this is my community. I guess I'm just a dancer. Um, so yeah, so I'm learning more about myself. And that's what I'm doing about the coat hanger pain is I am making sure to strengthen it and stretch it out a lot before bed and also strengthen and stretch the chest muscle as well because I don't know if maybe the reason this is sore is because my chest is collapsing because I am not as active as usual. And that last night I didn't have as much coat hanger pain. So I'm really happy about that. But I'm going to try to get some cupping, some trigger point injections, and massage so that way I can relieve this. The reason I'm so focused on healing from COVID, long COVID, is it's in my best interest. In my best interest to be who I was working towards because I was just getting so much joy out of it. But now I'm not going to do it with the filter of, oh, I need to achieve these things because no one will love me. I'm going to try to achieve these things because I actually want to. And it's just so exciting that there's so many opportunities in aerospace and space. And I really want to be a part of that community. I mean, I am a part of that community. I just want to be contributing more to that community. And that is my main goal. I am going to focus on healing and I'm not going to let it get me down. And some days I will have sad days, but that's okay because I'm mourning my old life. But that's okay. My old life is falling apart so I can rebuild a new life with everything that I've ever wanted in the direction that I want to go. So that's how I'm going to think about it. And one more thing to keep me super motivated is once I am healed, plus I'm done school, which is going to be very soon, is I am going to start flying lessons. I want to become a pilot, and if I knew about pilot training school before my BSc in physics, then I actually would have done that instead. But you know what? I was really isolated. I was never allowed to go outside. I was never allowed to have friends. And outside meaning like I could go to school and come back, but I couldn't do anything after school or on the weekends. I had to be at home by myself alone, according to my parents. I don't know why they did that. That was really weird, except for church. But I didn't know. Like I knew there were pilots, but for some reason I didn't think that it was possible for me to become a pilot. And I wish I had gone to BCIT right away so I could do pilot school. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do it now because just because I'm starting late doesn't mean I'm late. And that feeling, when you have that feeling like, oh my God, I wish I started that sooner, that just means it's meant for you. You just discovered it now. And it's fine that if it's late, it's just on time for your development. It's just on time for everything that's around. There is no way I could have studied to be in pilot school if I was still living at home in a dysfunctional household with demons, internal demons, and a lot of trauma that I have to overcome. So it is the perfect time, and that feeling of, oh, I wish I could have done it sooner just means it was meant for me. So I'm going to continue getting ready, and I feel really good. I love talking to you guys about everything and anything. If there's anything that you'd like to talk about or discuss, like write it in the comments below. Otherwise, I'm going to talk about my day, what's on my mind. Long COVID healing is like on the top of my mind right now. I'm going to link the studies about the curcumin and the omega-3 and 6 stats below, so that way you can take a look so you don't have to take it for face value. Always question everything, okay? Always question the information that you get. Never just follow it blindly, okay? We're not doing that anymore. We are not in the complete obedience, listening to, like, just question it, okay? Always question everything. I'll put that there. That'll be super helpful. And yeah, I guess if there's anything else that you'd like me to list, just let me know. Anyways, I'm gonna continue getting ready. Oh my God, it's been 23 minutes. I'm gonna continue getting ready. I'm gonna finish my eyes and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Or maybe not tomorrow, maybe Monday. Maybe Monday. I'm gonna take a break. Bye.